So it looks like Mike Pompeo is going to be the next Secretary of State for this country. The official vote's going to come later this week as he gets out of committee. So what's it going to mean for the country? We know the State Department gets a seat at the table, but where Rex Tillerson just didn't have the pull with the president. But what does it mean for Pompeo's philosophy, especially after his months at the CIA? Joining us now is Ryan Mauro, national security analyst, and he's also with the professor of counterterrorism at Liberty University. Ryan, in particular, what do you think we're going to see as Secretary of State that we didn't see as a congressman and as CIA director?
Well, he's basically going to be having a forward-leaning foreign policy with an ideological focus, which we haven't really had before since 9/11. What that means is standing up for human rights and Muslim reformers in the Muslim world. I would say that this is very positive, arguably even progressive, for the sake of Muslims in the Middle East that want to bring about peace and also bring about national security for the entire world.
You know, the fear is he's going to be too aggressive at state where diplomacy is really paramount. But do you think he's going to segue a little and change his approach because he is the chief diplomat?
Well, of course, there's going to be that diplomatic element of how you phrase certain things, but there's also a diplomatic element to waging the ideological war. So if in Turkey or in Iran there are protesters that are being locked up, you can expect to see the State Department leaning in and saying, we stand behind those guys. How can we help them? Very important. And he's not a warmonger like people are making it sound.
No offense to Rex Tillerson. He could have had the best idea or the worst idea. He just wasn't on the same page as the president. From briefing the president on a regular basis and seeing what went wrong with Tillerson, how do you think Pompeo is going to approach his job?
Well, I think some of the biggest contrasts you're going to see come in regards to Turkey and Qatar and their support of the radical Islamic movement around the world. Some of the biggest moves that you'll see happen probably under Pompeo would be the designation of the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization, because right now they can legally operate in the United States. So expect a lot of blowback over that, as well as this other group, Jamaat al-Fuqra, which has leadership in Pakistan that I've talked about on this program a lot. They're the group that has some isolated communes throughout the United States. I expect Pompeo to take action against that also.
Right. And Democrats aren't necessarily against anything you said in particular. Right. They were just against anything Trump-like. Is that what you got from the vote? And Menendez's ridiculous 650 questions he needed answers?
Yeah, if you took these policies in isolation, you could see most Democrats, if it didn't have a Republican identity attached to it, saying, that's a great idea. That's our idea. That supports progressive values as well as national security. But instead, you get showboating. You basically get Cory Booker there, who needs a new acting coach because it was obvious that he went in there trying to score a YouTube moment and making it sound like Pompeo is an Islamophobe, going after him for his associations, while at the same time, Cory Booker does things like embrace a radical Imam from New Jersey and then defends him when he gets called out on it. Right. So Booker shouldn't be out there accusing people of having improper associations when he does things like
20 seconds. Gina Haspel as deputy. The CIA wants her to get this job. They have put it out. They want to get her to get this job. What's it going to be like for the first female nominee?
I think it's going to be very rough because of the accusations in regards to allegedly covering up enhanced interrogation or torture, whatever you want to call it. I expect a lot of leaks. That's a big problem, and there's going to be a faction within the CIA that does not like what she stands for.
Can you imagine somebody ultimately qualified to run the department at the first female, and they push back? She did everything she was supposed to do to keep America safe. She shouldn't have to defend that. Thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate it.